What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. You're tuned in to our Black Friday episode. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And welcome to another Black Friday. Okay, fellas, I'm going to start today's show off with a poem I had written called Life is Like a Bank Account. I'm tired of all the lies and excuses you make, blaming everyone but yourself for the time you've wasted, pointing the finger at others for the things you do, unaware that three fingers are pointing back at you. History tells us that others have died to pave the way. And what do? Take it for granted and throw it all away. I challenge you to rise up and be the person God has called you to be. Stop looking the other way and pretending you don't see. See what, you might ask? See that time is passing fast. If I ask you, what have you done to make a difference today? Would you stand flabbergasted with nothing to say? Your ancestors were slaves, and their offsprings dealt with segregation. But you are the one who witnessed an African American run the nation. Where we are today is nowhere near where our ancestors began. Life is like a bank account. You get out what you put in. Now, with that being said, fellas, I look around the black community, right? And sometimes I don't like what I see. You know, now don't get me wrong. I see good brothers and sisters trying to make a difference in the hood. But oftentimes, man, of course, you see a lot of homeless individuals. And you see a lot of people that's looking unproductive or being unproductive. And I ask myself, damn, you know, are these people walking in their purpose? You know, what is their purpose? So I got a question. Not only for my comrades here today, but to the listeners too. Listeners, when you're in your quiet space, ask yourself this question. Do you know your purpose in life, and are you walking in it? So fellas, let me ask, do y'all know your purpose in life? Do you know what your purpose is? Now, I ask that because I believe that your purpose is actually fluid. Right, it's a fluid situation, you know, meaning that it's not set in stone. That your purpose can change over time. You know, your purpose in your 20s may not be the same purpose in your 30s,
right?
And your purpose in your 30s may not be the same purpose in your 40s, and so on.
Uh-huh.
So at this day and time, right now, in your life, fellas, or can you honestly say that you're walking in your purpose?
I don't think I'm walking in mine.
I think we are walking in our purpose. I think we can do better at it.
You.
Me. Yeah. Oh, I think I am. But I think I can be doing better than what I'm doing. I could say that. I could be doing better than what I'm doing.
I feel I am in a lot of cases. You know, as far as helping artists, you know, try to get to their destination. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like that's a purpose, you know.
Yeah. So
to help people.
For me, I do feel like I'm walking in my purpose. Now, some may disagree with how I view things, right? But I believe in order to actually walk in your purpose, I believe that you need to understand what your gifts are and what your talents are.
Correct.
To help you walk in your purpose, right? Now, you got some people, I probably mentioned this on the previous show, I can't recall, but you got some people, they actually die not knowing what their gifts and what their talents are, and ultimately never really truly walking in their purpose.
Right.
Now, for myself, I have multiple gifts, and I know what they are, and I have multiple talents, and I know what they are, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share one of my gifts, and I'm going to share one of my talents, right? So one of my gifts is actually the gift of communication. Now, if you caught me in my 20s, I had been told all the time about how I communicate, but I couldn't understand it. I couldn't grasp it. Now, communication doesn't necessarily mean me just speaking, but also being able to listen, to know how to speak. So I think one of my gifts is the gifts of communication.
Right.
And one of my talents is creative writing. And so, as you can see, I like to write poetry. So at the beginning of this show, I shared a talent with you. Now, again, I have multiple gifts and multiple talents, but I actually believe I'm walking in my purpose by using my gifts, by using my talent,
Yes.
and by being the example to my children and to my fellow man of how I would want to move throughout this world, you know, and not on no macho ego stuff. Sometimes, you know, we all got ego and a little pride here or there, but
Right.
But I try to move with a purpose to show others that it's okay to be a certain way, to move a certain way, and get out of some of the stigma that we have in our community.
Okay. I would say to follow up with you, I would say my gift would be knowing people. I get when I meet someone, you ain't gotta say one word to me. It's I guess it's a gift that I have. I just feel your spirit. I can tell you. If I could just kind of already know. I don't make a judgment call because I don't have a heaven and hell for nobody to go to, but I kind of watch how you move. But something to come to me and say, "Hey, that person there, no, they gonna steal from you. That person there, they good. You need to stick with this person." Which in turn is why I'm on this podcast with you three fellas. But my spirit will tell me, "Hey, this person is this." However, I am a benefit of the doubt because I'm not perfect. So I will have to see and let them show and prove. That'd be my downfall. I don't listen to my voice because I give everybody a benefit of the doubt. And that's why I say I can improve on that. I need to go with that. Say, "Hey, man, if he say it's bad, don't go." But sometimes I'll be like, "Man, they seem cool. You know how we do. They seem cool." And then you get burnt. But I'm a natural. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But for the most part, I'm able to surround myself. And naturally, I've been doing comedy since 2014, Dallas 13. So comedy, it would be my talent. And why I say I'm not walking in my purpose, because as you know, we have the podcast. Yes. But as far as the comedy, I think I could be doing a lot better because I have a purpose of what I'm trying to do. But me not being out on the scenes and doing those things, it's causing a conflict in my personal life with God, and not want to be on the scene. I can't.
But you know that you can have multiple purposes in life.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So, Slash, you think you're walking in your purpose?
Yeah, because my gift and my purpose is basically the same thing. My gift was music, of course, God given, and my purpose is to. If
you could make me a rap song, my done rapping ass, and make me sound like everybody, like, boy, you sound. Yeah, you got a gift.
That's a gift. That's what I say. So yeah, that's my purpose. You know what I mean? That type of gift is a purpose.
Well, I thought I was J. Cole.
Any gift to anybody, for that matter, personally is what that is.
Yeah.
Freddie G, you mentioned earlier, in knowing your purpose, you have to know what your gifts
And talents
And
are.
talents
Yeah,
are.
that's just a personal opinion. I think it'll help you.
Well,
think
I
it'll
totally
you.
agree, but I think we all have more than one gifts and more than one talent.
Yeah.
It's just identifying what those gifts and talents are.
Right.
And once you do identify, I think the more gifts and talents you identify, then the easier to determine, what your purpose may be. I said earlier that I don't feel that I'm walking in mine, but I feel like, I'm on a path. I think this podcast, believe it or not, ironically, communication in some form or fashion, I feel is a gift. And this podcast may be that way that I could express whatever my purpose may be. But I do feel that this has something to do with my purpose.
I get it. So let me dive a little deeper. I use the gifts and talents as I think that's a start in understanding what your purpose is in life, understanding what your gifts and talents are. But also, you may recall, I just mentioned to Comedian 96 that you can have multiple purposes. Like, for instance, I'm married. I think for the most part, as a husband, I think I serve my purpose as a husband. So that's a whole different purpose. Right. I think I serve my purpose as a father. That's a whole different purpose. So I say that because I see a lot of homeless people, right? And I wonder, what the hell happened? And what I do is sometimes I kind of size them up a little bit, right? Like if I see a real tall homeless person, right? And believe it or not, well, I ain't gonna say real tall, but well over 6 feet.
Okay.
And I've seen some homeless people over 6 feet, right?
A lot, yeah.
And I say to myself, he had to be able to play basketball at one point.
Something.
At one point, because you associate basketball with tall.
Yeah.
So I say to myself, well, damn. Why isn't he walking in his purpose? Was that his purpose? I don't know, but I would be first thinking that this joker here. I've seen homeless people do magic, like you go to get, they can do magic.
They have all kinds of.
And so when I see that, I'm like, damn, you could have probably been in Vegas somewhere doing a magic show or something. What is it to get you out of your purpose? And I see it a lot in the black community, right? And I started digging deeper mentally because y'all always know I'm always, challenging myself to think deeper, right?
Yeah, the voice of reason.
And so I think about that and I say to myself, well, damn, man, this probably needs to start at home and how you deal with your children and planting the seeds to condition their mind to help them discover their purpose. That's why a lot of times you see parents want to get their kids in all the different sports to see what they take to.
Yeah.
Or, hey, go in the chess club, the spelling bee, and all this stuff. It may not be their purpose, but just trying to see what they take to and what their gifts are. And because they're young and they don't know this. Now, some youngsters, they got it natural and you can see it. Now, you can see it when they can't see it, and you be like, okay, all I need to do is just help them water it. It's there. It's there.
And nurture it.
Yeah. So I believe that it starts at a young age, man, and you gotta, as parents, you gotta kind of help the young children to plant the seed to help them discover what their purposes are.
Right.
Because, you can't tell me, man, that drug addicts, that was their purpose in life.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It's just something made them go left.
Yeah, we all have a story.
That's true.
Yeah, I think purpose, it has to come with, you have to be disciplined. So discipline, in order for you to do anything, you got to start with discipline. And if you're not disciplined to do what you're set out to do, then you won't be able to serve your purpose. Yeah. So discipline, it has to start there. So just like you said, Freddie G, you raise your kids, and all your kids they're all disciplined and they all have a purpose. So hey, Shout out to Freddie G.
No, shout out to me.
And your mommy. Yeah, Freddie G and mommy.
No, don't shout out to me. This ain't no. Hey, listen, man, my kids ain't perfect. They be fucking up too. No. But I think a lot of times what hinder people from walking in their purpose, sometimes, of course, we mention drugs.
Yeah.
That can hinder you from
Alcohol.
walking in your purpose. And being afraid to try.
Yeah, that's
Being
it.
afraid to try.
Now that's
Stepping out on faith.
okay. That's true story. Okay, so one of my purposes, I let down not only myself, and this is one that I'm still kind of reliving. When I was at Yates, Jack Yates, we all went to Yates together, and I was in acting also. Me and Tammy Mack, Tammy McCall, y'all know from what else, those shows, a lot of commercials, the Swiffer commercials and all those, and then she did some shows, Law and Order, a couple of things. Anyway, long story short, she and I, there was about 16 of us that went to a state competition at San Jacinto. It was Houston to San Jacinto. So now, remember back in the day, this is back in the day in the 80s, 89, 90. So there was no Uber, there was no, they had Yellow Cab, but you go from Houston to San Jacinto, you finna pay about $200, not about $150, somewhere around there. So I didn't have money back then. I was 16, I was 17 when I graduated. So I didn't have no money. I was doing what I could to make money. I was going to a Shake Community Center. I had no after school program, no job, none of that. So I ended up going to the ride they gave that Friday. They gave us a ride to the state championship. They gave us the bus, the big yellow bus on Friday. They said if y'all win, y'all gotta find y'all own rides on Saturday and Sunday if y'all make it to regional and state. Out of 16 of us, me and Tammy Mack made it to regional. I remember I ain't had no money. There wasn't no bus that went to San Jacinto. None of that. And man, when I say I didn't go, that I let Miss Shelton down. I let myself down. Because I think I was supposed to be an actor. Because I did a play of Mice and Men. And I was 3. I was Lenny, the girl, and the guy, Lenny, I can't remember the other guy's name. George, Lenny, and the girl. I was all 3. And I did a play skit, and it was so live. I made it to regionals, and I didn't go back that Saturday. And I was. How could you explain to your teacher? I didn't have the money, so I just feel like that part was my purpose in that period.
So you feel that finances may have hindered your purpose.
Yes,
another one.
Finances could have hindered my purpose.
So earlier I mentioned drugs could hinder your purpose. I mentioned people being afraid.
Yeah.
You're just being afraid to try.
Right.
That can hinder your purpose. Right? Okay. Another thing that I think that people get confused when they think that they're walking in their purpose is that sometimes they can allow other people's purpose to influence them to where they think that that's their purpose.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, they'll be weeded out because they'll understand that no, that was never my purpose because I can't even do that.
Right. Exactly.
Then you got some who are influenced by another person's purpose and they get in, they realize that, man, I'm a natural at this.
Right.
And they discover their purpose.
That's their purpose.
But the first things you got to do is try, right? There's a quote, man, that I love, man. I probably said it 100 times, but I love this quote, right? It was a Michael Jordan quote. That Joker went to play baseball, and of course, y'all know how his baseball career went.
Yeah.
It was considered a failure, and he came back to basketball. And a reporter asked him, how do you feel that you failed at baseball? You're not good at baseball. And that Joker said, I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That is super deep because his first love was baseball. And so he went to go and try to step in what he thought was his purpose. Although he played basketball or whatever, but there was this itch. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, I thought that was like super awesome. I think that again, you know, not being able to try, not wanting to try, could hinder you from not walking in your purpose, right? And so, with that being said, man, I'm gonna segue into our black fact you can't take back. Now, I'm gonna do this just a tad bit different, right, from what we usually do, because I think that this individual actually walked in his purpose. So much so that he made a sacrifice that I don't think the average person could do. So, with that being said, before I disclose who this person is, I want to just name a few of his accomplishments, right? He's the first black preacher at Houston's first black Baptist church, the Anarch Missionary Baptist Church.
Yeah.
Now, that church, for those who don't know, is located in downtown Houston near the Allen Center. Now, downtown wasn't what it was back then.
Back then, yeah.
You know, it was more so Freemanstown. Now, Freemanstown transitioned to Fourth Ward.
Yeah.
And now Fourth Ward is slowly seeming like it's transitioning to Midtown. But so this person was the first preacher at Houston's first black Baptist church. Wow. Now, he also organized the Houston Academy. Yeah. Now, this academy today is known as Booker T. Washington High School. He's also the organizer of Bethel Baptist Church, and he's also the organizer of Emancipation Park.
Everywhere that I play in the church, I go to Bethel right now.
So without further ado, this person is Reverend John Henry Yates, a.k.a. Jack Yates. Now, here's what I found interesting. I named all of his accolades, right? And here's how I feel like this dude walked in his purpose, or this man walked in his purpose because of the sacrifice he made. And he understood somewhere down the line there was a bigger purpose for him. And I named all of his accolades first. So Yates was born enslaved in Virginia before coming to Texas. He eventually gained his freedom and entered back into slavery to be with his wife and children. His deep love for family started him on a journey to Houston, where he led his roots and solidified himself as a community leader. So I think that his purpose was to be a community leader. So much so that I'm willing to go back into slavery to be with my family, to bring all of this forth.
Yeah.
This concludes another dope episode of Black Friday. Tune in tomorrow for Music Monday. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and follow my YouTubers. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.